Welcome to eRev Party Radio with your host Arit and
DK3D Night.
yes, as always, we will have an awesome show today. But yes, I think we are a little short on what do you call people watching.
Nah.
Are you sure, DK?
Nah, I believe we have just the amount we need at the moment.
Okay then. Our
But maybe I'm
first,
just like extremely positive. Eh.
I try to be a realist, so yeah, you get that.
No. You're not a realist. You're a pessimist.
How do you know I'm a pessimist when I'm trying to show the
Because
logic behind it?
you're always looking at the glass half empty.
Basically, the glass is okay. Oh yes, now we got. Hey guys, and welcome to eRev Part Radio. So yes, Woozy Trolling is here. Welcome to eRev Part Radio, Woozy. We have been waiting for you. The junction is nearby on the east, and I hope you guys find it comfortable, Woozy. So yes, on our first story today, what are we going to do today, DK?
Well, I actually have something funny to tell you.
Okay.
It'll be very quick. Do you know Discord that we use for the chat and everything?
Yes.
Take a guess where that's located.
I don't know.
It's on my right monitor.
Oh. Nice, you broke your monitor. Congratulations.
Well, I'm moving in the other one right now, so I'll be joining chat shortly.
Oh, okay. So yes, if there's any song requests, please do. Our first up, Abe will be joining up most probably. But yes, our first story today will be which one do you guys want to choose? News or the crazy last president's speech? We'll take the news first. Basically, elections. We are having elections, and the election time in our USA is crazy. We have the right-wing Mad Hatter. Hopefully, he might join us today to give his speech or whatnot. And then we have the left
Extension of
wing.
his will,
Sorry?
or at least the extension of his will.
Yes, or that. The left wing party, Thomas Killer. He will most probably be joining today, hopefully. They are not here.
If not, we'll go boo.
Oh, the two candidates didn't even join for the meeting. Oh, sorry, for the debate. So what's the use of this? Let's fire them all and replace it with a competent president.
Yeah, there we go.
I wonder who will be the next president. But however, the campaign is gone a little bit crazy, to be honest. Yes, there are two parties. Basically, the right-wing party, the what's the party's name? I can't pronounce.
The party. Yeah, we'll just call it that.
No, we cannot let our viewers be uninformed. We have to inform them. So sad. I can't even remember that party. Oh yes, the Enlightened Contract Party has nominated candidates Matt Carter and the People's Revolutionary Party, or the left-wing party, that is Thomas Killer. Those two will be killing each other today, hopefully. And yes, through ideology and through debate.
Hopefully not.
And hopefully not. That's at the same time.
You're like, yep, they're gonna be killing each other.
So yes, and looking at the game, nothing much has changed. Woozy Trolling has been trolling all the time, and his articles are awesome. Thanks for printing those awesome articles, Woozy. And yes, nothing much in the news. There is a one article made by Elfrin. I hope I pronounce his name. Elfrin094. Basically, it's talking about new suggestions like create jails for all governments, then create policeman post. Basically, it's like we already have a policeman post. That's the mods. They are like the secret service of eRev.
It's not a police service. It's more like a secret police service.
Kind of the same. It's like the Interpol.
Ooh. Oh no.
The Interpol.
No, Interpol doesn't arrest people, so. They just investigate things. They only arrest people in video games and terrible TV shows.
Terrible TV shows. Yes. And I would like to. Yeah, this is from Scott Johnson. Yes, thank you. Enlightened Contract Party. Yes, that's the party that has nominated Matt Carter. What else? Anyone who has less than 23 level can work 2 times. That's already done actually. That's done by the extra. Or work 2 times a day. No, that's going to require what do you call another games mechanic. What's that games mechanic? I cannot mention the game in this. Will be basically there
Oh,
is
yeah. That's overtime, right?
overtime. Yes, I'm not going to mention it here. And then we have this one another suggestion: make fantasy works and factories like fish farms, contraband. So basically, like, what do you mean, like drugs in eRev? Wow, that's
I
going
don't
to be
see why
interesting.
not.
Yeah, other
Anything's
games.
possible.
It is possible, like other games have, but it's going to be crazy because first is they have to give a consequence. Because if you take some sort of bonuses like drugs, let's say there has to be a benefit, and if you overtake them, there has to be a consequence. Maybe your correct you cannot work properly, or maybe you'll get paid less. It could be something. Um,
Wait, so there's a consequence to taking Tylenol?
no, there has to be some consequence. Otherwise, it's useless. Um,
No, well, the thing is, it's just another paywall, or maybe contacts. Like you need to know a drug dealer. I don't know. I just go.
Possibly, but that's a good suggestion. That's an interesting suggestion, Airfred 94. The next one, we'll be talking about. Wait, we'll be taking comments from the viewers. What are they discussing? Yeah, they're talking about Greece. They're talking about Turkey. Do you know that Turkey wants to go on Ukraine soon? Possibly. We're not exactly confirming it. Um, that's from Kestra11VB. Possibly, not exactly sure. But there is a war between Ukraine and the different alliance. But I'm not going to mention certain things because I don't want to like get flagged for conspiracy or some crazy stuff.
There is flag for conspiracy.
So we're not exactly mentioning anything about what's going on with Turkey and Ukraine, what's going on with Japan and Ukraine, because we can say these what do you call, not rumors, what do you call this? We don't have any much information about them. Yeah, that's a
Yes, and
diplomat.
we won't talk about Eris black helicopters either.
Wait, what? Wait,
You don't know that reference? Okay, it's fine.
I don't know that. I just wonder. Wait, I don't have a black helicopter.
Yes, you do. You have like a fleet of black helicopters, and when someone says something bad about you, you deploy the black helicopters
Maybe
and
I
take
would have.
those people into FEMA camps.
Maybe I would have sent them to Mad Catter. That's why. Who knows? Which is why the candidates are not on the show today.
Yes.
Very interesting. It's election day. Wonder what happened to them. I'm not hinting anything.
We'll see if I can't find them.
Yeah, please do. Please try to find them. I hope they are not in my dungeon.
Yes. You're supposed to feed them, right?
Sorry?
You're supposed to feed them, right?
No.
Thomas Keller, he actually was saying that he was ready for the debate, but
Finally.
well, no, he said that previously, like back at like 7:20 p.m.
Thomas
But
Killer is, yes.
someone had given him a bad time, like a bad time period. Like they gave him lies, and I corrected this.
Thank goodness. I'm going to send him the call out link. We want not only America to know about Thomas Keller, the future president, or possibly the future president, but we want to let everyone know what are the platform Thomas Keller represents and how it affects foreign affairs, how it affects the diplomatic, the international community, the resolve of the international community. With Thomas Keller's leadership. So I'm inviting him now. I'll be inviting Abe to moderate the debate, and hopefully we might get Mad Catter. So yes. After that, most probably I might.
I might have to send vague threats to Mad Catter.
Please do. So yes, we'll be talking about France. These are a recent article called the baguette is strong. I hope I pronounce it right. Or the croissant is strong, and take care of his friends. So basically, talking about their what you call the power play as a strong nation which does multiple damages to their for their allies against their enemies. And yeah, it's very interesting. France has always been strong, but this is actually really interesting that they can handle multiple fronts. Very scary at the same time. I wish I could tell a long, boring speech about what do you call the presidency of our administration. That means because since wait, is Thomas on?
What?
Who's Evonte?
I don't know.
I don't know. I invited Thomas, but I'm not sure whether I invited a guy called Zvonte.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, Thomas, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Is he Thomas?
So yes, since we have a large international presence in our USA, and we have recovered most of our strength, how do you deal in foreign affairs? What's your plan for foreign affairs?
Mainly gainer cores, um, prevent any direct conflicts with Canada. Basically
Uh,
Oh, Thomas
helping
Keller,
them
you're
sum it
turning
up.
silent on us.
yeah.
Can you
What
hear me? Yeah, my phone mic is off.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, how about now?
Oh no,
That's
it's
much
perfect.
better.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so what I was saying was regainer cores focus on avoiding any direct conflicts with Canada, mainly because they're in the Unity Alliance now, and we don't want to have a full new front to deal with, and just focusing on helping our allies in with like France for Serbia in Europe, and basically that's that my foreign affairs in a nutshell.
Okay, nice, interesting. Anything
How
else
are
to add?
you planning on recovering the course?
Oh yeah, thanks, DK.
Basically for all the for all the MDP members, basically, I would just talk to them, see how they feel. I believe Japan and Mexico have already said that they'd return those cores um, once the contract expires, and Indonesia, depending on whether or not they actually do make it into MDP, then we'd figure out whether or not they just return it to us or if we'd have to do a separate negotiation for that. As for Canada, that's a much more trickier one, mainly if they decide they don't want to return it to us for any reason. But if we can't get those back, it's not that big of a deal, mainly because um, I believe the only resources that we'd be missing out on in those three regions that they have is um, grain, aluminum, and fish, or something like that. And we have other regions already that supply us with that, and they wouldn't do that much impact. I'm really focusing on regaining access to Oregon and South Dakota for the access to graphite, and it was one other resource that we have, I think, a plus 10% bonus in that we could make up to 20% if we got the region back connected.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. So basically, though, that's foreign affairs in a
So,
nutshell.
yeah. Well, yeah, talking with our allies, making deals. It makes
Small.
sense.
Yeah, small question. Since I'm the director of IES, I have noticed that we are not having a proper flow of immigration, and the ones we do have are sometimes getting denied due to what do you call this? They have some history in the past. However, how are we going to deal with immigration? What's your policies on immigration? Since that wasn't mentioned in your article and none of the candidates' article.
This is mainly because really I feel the way we've been handling immigration has been pretty well so far. I mean, um, basically they just have to not be sketchy. I mean, apart from having bad references, um, past history with enemy nations, or history with PTOs, or multiple accounts, as long as they don't have that, they're pretty much um, guaranteed a spot in. So I don't feel there's really any need for any immigration reform or changes to how we accept people in.
That's actually a lot better than some of the. I realize it's a curse word, but the other game, um, in which I remember talking with some people suggesting that the IES policy should be, if you weren't already a U.S. citizen, delete your character and start over in America.
Yeah, good point.
That's a much better IES policy than that, obviously.
Yeah, but the problem is that could be possible, but nobody wants to lose their current character. Even I
Of
wouldn't do
course,
something
no
that's.
one would want to do that.
But there could be multis. That's the difference.
Well, as I said, like I guess there has to be a risk in everything,
Yeah, true.
right, Thomas?
Yep.
Okay, since we did talk about immigration, which was not mentioned in the debate which was held earlier, uh, what do you think about the current status of EUSA and how do you plan to improve it in domestic wise?
Domestically,
Yeah,
let's see. Well, there's a couple programs that I'd like to institute, um, mainly for dispersing US dollar just to fix the value of that. Um, Things to engage retention, um, and I would like to increase the population. Right now, we don't have the most active population out of the numbers that we see on eRev. Um, and I would like to increase the activity that we have. We've seen a big boost in the last few months, and I'd like to continue that and build upon that. Um, let's see. Let's see. I,
Oh, hey, Thomas.
I would be yeah.
Just a little toss up. You might want to turn your camera off.
Oh, true.
There, that probably helps a lot better.
that's not his camera. I think that's his profile pic.
No, no, no. It wasn't.
No,
It was
my
actually
camera was
filming.
on.
Yeah, it
Wait, are you
was
serious?
filming. Yeah, it was filming the darkness in the room essentially,
Oh, okay,
and
then it's fine.
that probably was costing him bandwidth as well.
Oh, most probably, yeah.
All right, where was I? Um, Programs for local businesses, program for retention, um, a movement. It's not really a program, but more of a movement for recruitment and increased activity, mainly through greater transparency and um, um, greater increased number of articles, basically to communicate with the people, try to engage players, and hopefully that should help increase participation in government. Maybe even create a couple new faces that are would be interested in joining the government. Uh, yeah, and I think that's all I have. Only a few programs. directly for like domestic.
Okay, we'll be taking a commercial break. I hope it's okay with the Thomas Killer, and I hope it's okay with Chris, as obviously it's okay with
No,
Chris.
totally unacceptable. Burn it all down.
Oh, come on.
Oh, now you're turning silent. Now what are we gonna do?
Oh, come on. Sorry, my mic just went off because I was going to put the music. Okay, we'll be taking a commercial break. I think it's okay with Chris now. And yes, as always, have a enjoy the song. We'll be playing one of the songs that me and I, Chris, found. Sorry, Chris and I, not me and I, for some weird reason. Uh,
I, and Di, and Irene.
yeah, I had to find that song now. Oh, found it. This is called Lamprey, Through You by Lamprey. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Um, Aerith, are you actually playing something? Okay, actually, Aerith, you're not playing anything. Aerith, seriously, push the buttons. Okay, fine. I'll distract everyone while. Actually, Aerith, you're not playing anything. Oh, I'm also making sure like other people get the link, unless I'm not talking anymore. No. Okay. I would play a song, Aerith, but I can't. I'm. Well. Oh, ba-da-bum, bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Hi. Hi. Okay,
Hello.
I guess I'm gonna have to distract everyone. Aerith just realized that the song's not playing, and yes, it's not playing for anyone. He told me it was playing, and I'm like, oh well, I'll just shut up. It must be in my imagination. Yep, the song is broken. It was gonna be a nice rock and roll song from the Free Music Archive, but obviously Google has exploded and a black hole is formed. So, Thomas Keller, please, you can unmute your mic. We'll continue talking while Aerith figures out what button he pressed.
Sounds like fun.
Yes, that's fun. So let's do it. And I'm sorry, everyone, for the little dark noise there. I thought maybe I was just hallucinating that there was no music. So Thomas Keller, I think you talked about what particular things were you planning that might improve people's activity in game. I know you were kind of briefly going through several different programs, but what kind of programs do you plan to bring that might add a little more extra energy to the community?
Um, Mainly, I would like to start some state-ran writing contests, meme contests, things like that. Um, Things that are kind of like fun, but are engaging, just to kind of pick up activity and provide some rewards here and there. Just incentivize the activities. Um, I'm hoping that that should pick up just a little bit, but in conjunction with some of the other programs, I think it should help a lot.
Talking about programs, did you check out Tancred's lotto system that he built?
Well, besides just the article that he put out, I didn't look into anything more, but
Okay, the idea behind it was people. I think they paid 10 cc. Sorry, they paid 5 cc, and then he gave them 5 cc for. So essentially, they were going to get all their money back and then get some extra money. And the idea was the chances of winning was pretty high, and so a lot of people basically got paid for it. So it was basically kind of a prove that you have a heartbeat, and we'll give you some money with some random chance. What's your thoughts
yeah, I
about
mean,
that? Like games of chance and such.
well, it can be very helpful, I guess, for some of the newer players, mainly because it doesn't rely on how long you've been playing, how much experience you have. It's just purely luck and chance. So, in that regard, I think it's great.
Well, what other activities could be done to kind of add that juice to everyone's life, to just fill them with the spirit to move forward, to click another button, to fight another war? What things?
Selecting Tricky Dick as the uh, Secretary of National Spirit.
National spirit, I like that. So will we have rallies and we'll play a theme song and everyone will cry and so forth?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. I like that. I like that. That's good. It's a, national pride helps because without pride, then like, what are you exactly?
A very unproud people.
Yes, yes, exactly. Without pride, there's nothing. Oh, okay. Aerith wants to know if we can hear him. No, we
No.
cannot. You are a ghost. We do miss you. Okay. Hopefully, he realizes we cannot hear him, and that as much as he chooses to shout, that we cannot hear his pleas for help and so forth. Oh,
In
unknown
space, no one
unknown
can hear
says
you.
always blame Japan. So let's see. Okay, so we talked about some of the economic. You also kind of briefly talked about some of your economic plans. Can you go more in depth with that?
I'm sure. So, main thing will be the U.S. dollar value is way, way, way too high right now. So, the best way to devalue that and make it more sustainable will be to put a crap ton of US dollars on the market, and allow for greater flow between all our citizens. And I believe that would be with weekly injections of currency. The exact number will depend week to week. Um, I'd I'd have to take a closer look at some of the financial reports that I put out recently to actually give a number. Um, but besides that, there would be weekly injections, and also I proposed a minimum wage increase just for mainly to help with those companies that are paying their people $1, which I see as exploiting workers mainly because commune systems in this game, admins have already kind of spoke about how they disapprove of this type of system, and so I try to refrain from those types. Um, so basically, raising it, I wanted to raise it to $5, but that's really high of a jump to go to, and um, basically, for all the small businesses that wouldn't be able to handle that big of a jump. The government just can't afford to subsidize them all. So that's why I'm proposing a $2 to $3 minimum wage.
I
Hey, can
think
anyone?
yes. Oh gosh, Aerith, we can hear you. Just
Yes,
now. Yes. Um, I, Aerith, what was the current minimum wage? I thought you
Currently
said it
it's
was
it's
7.
minimum wage is
in game. It's
1.
$1.
Yeah, but that time I think I put an article. It was on average
Oh, no,
was but now it
Aerith,
is.
you've gone all sideline. We can't hear you.
Oh, serious? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay, there was some technical problems. Apparently, Google just crashed my internet for some weird reason.
Well, that is very weird. Um, it's probably part of the silent invasion. Anyway, we won't worry about that. So yeah, I thought Aerith, you had like made it like a what was it? Maybe you were just asking people, right? Is that it, Aerith?
Sorry?
Okay, never mind. I can't keep track of what is and what we've talked about. I'm sorry. What I was getting at was I thought you had like required people to pay $7.
No, no, that was on
No?
average. I wanted to increase it
Average.
to
Okay.
10.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. Never mind, Thomas Keller. I'm full of chicken poop. I'll listen to
Uh,
Aerith too. Anyway, one of the viewers actually has a question for you,
yep.
Thomas Keller. Are you
all
prepared?
right, fire away.
Are you going to bring back a
Sure.
version of eNASA, advertising on other platforms to bring new citizens in?
I'm not I wouldn't say yes to this mainly because I don't really support people um, going to other games
Well, they're not always
like
other
this one.
games.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
they're they're like
that's why I said kind of. Um,
yeah.
non-games like this one where you'd get banned for
Oh yeah,
advertising
yeah.
about this or
Obviously,
getting spam. Like
obviously, yeah.
I'm
No,
against that, but for like other forums, just like social media, things like that. I'm totally supporting YouTube ads, videos. Definitely in support of that.
I
And
remember the old eNASA program that I saw from something else, in which they sent you to gaming sites that had a page for the game, say eRev, and you would press a like button to show your support of the game, suggesting to other people in the community that they should check it out. I don't really think it was very effective personally, but maybe I am like I'm not maybe I'm just not the normal person, and so like I have to like put myself away and go like while I personally don't think it would be effective, maybe it is because of other people. And I forget that there are people of different generations who do not use the same mentalities and skill sets to come to the same conclusions that I do. So I'm gonna put myself in a little pocket. And Aerith, you should talk.
Yeah, I just came back. Finally, the internet's now working. It's so weird. Yes. Where were we? I lost track because of that. I wanted to ask you a question about finance, but I can't remember now exactly what it was. So yes, we are trying to get Matt Cutter on. Since we couldn't get him on, uh, basically I feel it's a bit unfair to get only one side of the story. Better to get both sides. I'll try to get
Well, you
Matt
know
Cutter.
what? You know what? If we don't get him tonight, maybe another day we'll like grab him.
Yeah, then the election is over. Tonight is the election, sadly.
Oh well,
yeah,
we tried. We tried. I have like screamed at him on Skype and told me
It's
if he could give me a paper to like if he can just give me words, I will gladly tell it for him. But anyway, moving forward. So actually, I think one of the viewers actually had a follow-up question.
oh, go on.
Um, it was more of a specification to the previous question. They were thinking like websites like Reddit or even targeted AdWords for the demographics that fit the player base here. So they were focusing their question, and so I throw that focus at you, Thomas Keller.
well, like I said before, as long as it's outside of other games like I was about to say a different game, outside of eRevolution, if it's games like that, I have no support for that. But anything outside of that, Tumblr, Facebook, uh, Reddit, YouTube, Instagram, I don't care. I have support for anything outside of that. So yeah, definitely AdWords, I'd go for that. Reddit, I'd have support for that. So yeah, I'd be all for that.
Okay, I'll try to take another commercial break. Is that fine with you guys? Hopefully it doesn't
We
crash my
just
internet.
we just had a commercial break.
As long as
might
as I
wanna,
can
like-
hear it.
Like maybe we should wait a little longer before going to commercial break again because like
Yeah,
we
sure.
You have to
Okay, that's
have
cool.
69% commercial in the rest.
We're
That's not true.
we're
Like
not
every
getting-
50 minutes you have one.
No, it's been like every we just had one like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, did we? Yeah. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Eric, you're turning into the Sci-Fi Channel.
What?
Yeah, they would show like an hour movie that would take 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically we
Don't
have
do
those.
Don't
I
do
won't
it.
do it. I won't do it. So yeah, you guys go continue.
Okay. Let's see. So you were talking about printing money. I assume sometimes that has some sort of consequence. So how are you planning on balancing the consequence of printing money?
Well, basically, when we print the money, we're gonna have a lot of extra currency just lying around, and it will not be actually affecting the economy until we actually put it into circulation. So what we'd be doing is we'd be holding on to that surplus of US dollars that we get from printing, and we would be slowly injecting it into the economy over several weeks. And that way it gives us our desired outcome to devalue the currency, but it doesn't just like overwhelm and
Okay.
cause like hyper deflation.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I have a question. It's basically related to economics. Thanks for reminding me, Thomas Killer. Basically, there was one critical policies from a critic. I cannot mention his or her name. Basically, it stated that it seems that you're planning to increase expenses, like on programs and all, on social well-being of citizens. But there is a possibility of bankrupting the country at the same time. So, what is your thought on that?
Well, of course, definitely will not be pushing out a budget that runs a deficit. I'm always against running a deficit. Um, I am looking to increase spending on programs, but then again, it's always within a reasonable budget. If we don't have the funds, we just simply don't have the funds. But right now, with the U.S. dollar being worth as high as it is right now, um, once we devalue that currency, we should have a lot more to spend with uh, funding wise. And then let's see, the restructuring of the RUSAM, the militia, our national MU. I did call for increased spending for supplies, but then again, that's not going to be like thousands of dollars of increase. It's going to be smaller than you would expect, mainly because I don't want to overdo it. I did glance at the financial report that Earth put out, and from what I saw there, we are working with a little bit of on a tightrope, I guess you could say, and you have to kind of set your priorities straight. I'd rather invest in domestic programs and try to increase our economy over increased supplies for the national MU, mainly because what they've been giving so far, they're livable, they're adequate. We can do damage with them. Could they be
Okay.
better? Yeah, but I think that when it comes down to it, it's more important to put money into domestic programs and revitalizing the economy. So that's
Okay.
my 2 cents on that.
Someone actually had a follow-up question from one of the viewers. Do we have any models of this stimulus working in other countries or nations across eRev?
That I know of, no. But in my history of playing games like this and playing this game, um, I have learned that on the side of devaluing the U.S. dollar, injections through the monetary market has been pretty much a reliable way to devalue currency. Um, there are some other ways, like I know Tancred running his lottery, he was trying to um, diversify where the money's going to instead of having it all go to like a specific businessman or corporation or whatnot. Not mentioning any
I'm
names.
sorry. That was why I started laughing with that one.
Sorry about that because it was hilarious.
That was what you held it, Aerith. You held it. I couldn't hold it that long.
I heard it, yeah, I heard it. I was like thinking, oh, I know it's the specific business. Okay,
Aerith's too professional here, guys.
sorry.
Anyways, we've done injections of U.S. dollar before, but I'm planning to do it on a much more rapid basis just just to get the currency at the right levels much sooner. By the end of this month, I want to have the currency very close to or at a much lower rate. I'm actually gonna have to go back and look at how much it is right now because I cannot recall what the exact number was for the exchange rate, and I don't believe I put that on my platform, the exact number, which I will actually be editing my platform to add that in there when I remember it. Yeah, it will come
Well,
to me.
do you want me to look at the monetary trading?
Let's see. How we've been in this for 47 minutes. I think it would be better to just kind of move on to the other points.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think it's $23 to the gold, just about. Well,
Yeah,
maybe it's 20. It's about 23
I
to
would
24.
I'd be reducing that a lot, probably more around 10 to
Okay.
15.
I actually have another follow-up question.
All
Uh,
right.
this is more of a hypothetical question. Um, what are your strategies for citizens who might suddenly go idle, who have large purchases on the market, and then basically seizing large portions of the money and essentially then sitting on that money and never spending it?
That's a good question, by
Mhm.
the way. Because we did have a hypothetical situation at one point.
Well, yeah, I mean, this can happen actually at any time with any wealthy businessman in the US. Just suddenly RL hits, they have to leave. Don't have time to donate the money to anyone. And we end up losing a lot of currency flow. And basically, I don't really see a way to be proactive about this. Um, but assuming that this happens, there will be a lot less US dollars on the market, a lot less currency flow. So the worth of it's going to skyrocket again. And that will be met by increased higher injections of US dollar on the market. Like I said before, I believe, um, I will be dynamically injecting it weekly. Basically, based on where the worth is, I will be doing more or less injections just to kind of keep it at a more steady pace, not too rapidly, not too slowly.
Okay.
So, is anyone up for a commercial break?
Okay, fine. If you want your commercial break, Eric, you can have it now.
Just make sure
So,
we can hear it.
yes.
Yeah,
If not, I will start screaming obscenities. So,
yeah, please do, because I didn't know,
If
like,
not, he will start singing his own song for us.
yeah, I'll start singing my own song. It will be terrible. And it'll be so bad that you'll get a copyright strike on your account.
I will use an executive order to make that song a national anthem.
okay, I hope I don't screw it up this time.
Uh-oh. This is always a bad this is a bad start already. Oh,
Okay, can anyone hear me? Just curious.
yes, you now sound like you're in a glass bottle.
Okay, man. Thanks, I'm gonna play the song. This is Lamprey through you. Hopefully it'll play this time. Sorry for guys if it didn't play previously. Yeah. It all comes out inside now.
I hear nothing, which is darkness, and that's bad. So, hi everyone, we're back, I believe. And I imagine Aerith is now pushing a lot of buttons. Go ahead, Aerith. Push those buttons. They need to be pushed. So, Thomas.
So,
Until Aerith gets back from like playing the video, or song or whatever he was doing, probably pressing buttons. I guess we should talk about what Monkus said. I hope I said that right. I was like, Monk us, or is it
Hello.
Monku? Ah, Aerith is back.
Finally.
He blessed us with his presence again.
Okay, continue with your questions, Chris. Sorry.
Oh, I was asking what was Thomas's reaction to the information that Monkus provided.
Oh, go on. What's the question?
I already asked it.
Oh,
all right. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of speak about that. I kind of already answered to him during the commercial, through the chat.
Yeah, I know,
But,
but like the chat isn't like in the thing.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Basically, he said that most, well, not most, but he said some other countries have a U.S. dollar to gold exchange rate as high as 100 um, country currency to gold, and ours is down around 2023. So for us to devalue our currency to get to a rate of 100 in a single month would be way too rapid of a change. That's why I'm proposing to get more towards 60. though if we could get to a 70, that would be an easier transition for the next month. But my main is for getting it to a 60, so that's roughly a $40 increase. Um, so our injections onto the markets, they're not going to be huge, but they're definitely going to be a little bit lofty, I guess you could say. Um, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That will be a final question from the audience. If it's okay. This question comes from Ace. Ace, let's hear your question.
Phonomos Ace.
Ace.
Oh, I think he's like trying to fabricate his question.
Oh, then yeah.
So why don't we give him a chance to take a chance to take that question from Question Town and move it in the truck to Answer Town. So while he's doing that, Thomas, is there anything else you'd like to add?
When will be when will we be getting an official state religion?
Okay. When will
Sorry.
we? Okay. Well, do you think you can ratify that in Congress?
Of course, I can ratify anything.
Yes, Supreme
I just need
General
someone to
Thomas.
someone needs to found a religion first.
Um,
Okay. Well,
ICE is like throwing a bunch of print screens of quality 5 tanks for sale for $1.
yeah, and
He
quality
he
five
wants to be a part
helicopter.
of my government contracts for weapons.
And
For the
apparently,
increased funding, I suggested that we could just do government contracts um, and use those weapons we get from the contracts as increased subs for the national immune.
how are you planning to reduce the outrageous prices? So that's what his screenshots were.
That will be mainly through devaluing the U.S. dollar. Once we do that, companies will um, it will seem like they'll have a lot more money, and
Well, from
they'll
his
be
pictures, one of them is quality 5 tanks, 590 being sold for, I believe it's $1.
It's $1.60. Sorry, 160 it is.
That's the other one. Look at the one
yes,
above it. The tanks are $1.
Yeah, that's a dollar. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, when we devalue the currency of the U.S. dollar, it's not going to be worth as much as it is. So once we hit that roughly 40-ish mark, that cost of that tank is going to go up to at least let's see, $40. That's going to be around at least a 30, not a $30, a 20-ish dollar tank. So
Okay,
if
so
we
are
can,
people going to need to take their money barrels with them to
yes,
buy to the market? Okay.
we are going to need your largest pockets.
Okay. Hey, I
There's a
think it's
second.
Spitfire. He has a second question. Go ahead, Aerith. I'll let you ask it this time.
Okay, second question. How are you planning to decrease foreign influence in our market?
Well,
Half of those offers are from foreign players. Good point. Good question. That's what I was going to.
um, my economic policy I always kind of have this divide. One hand, I want foreign competition to drive down prices here, just so that our people will be able to will be encouraged to buy a lot more American goods rather than buying off on international gold-based markets. Um, however, when once we get too many, encouraging too many foreign companies to plant themselves here in the United States, and they begin to over compete with our companies. Um, that is only causing us to further lose currency going out of circulation, and that's only adding to our the worth of the U.S. dollar. That's only causing it to rise in worth, and it's only making our prices plummet even more. So what I would be proposing would be a little bit of a change to our import taxes, um, mainly just to discourage um, foreign competition. Any foreign businesses who import over here will, um, assuming, let's just say I set it to 99% import tax for everything. I know we already have 99% import for some of our resources that we already have a good industry in, but let's just say for everything it's 99% across the board. Um, this will cause a lot of the, let's say, weapons manufacturers, tank manufacturers, um, to want to move to a market that has a much lower import tax, so that they'd be able to maximize their profits. Um, Hopefully, this would cause um, less competition by them moving away. Of course, any foreign citizens that may have moved physically to the United States without gaining citizenship or anything. And wait, do companies run on location? I believe
Okay.
so. Yes. Anyways, uh, anyways, if the main thing would be import taxes, raising those across the board to 99%, which that would be my preference, just to further discourage foreign business.
Okay, this is the third question from same AS. Um, how are you increasing the benefits of food market that most young players use to make profits? Good question. Did anyone?
Let, let's see. I this actually I did not think about this before, so this is
It's
hot off the press.
yeah. Also, not only food markets, but also food raw materials and weapons raw materials. Those markets are heavily deflated to a point that it's worth almost nothing. So how we going to solve those two problems as well? If I know it's
Well,
a hot question, yeah, but maybe during your presidency we could see, but at least try to update that in the article for further plans to try to create a artificial inflation on those two markets because most young players try to make a profit out of those.
well, one part of it will be through um, the increase of the minimum wage. Lots of new players will be trying to hire workers at a much lower rate, and so doing that will pull some companies off the market, and that should um, increase the profit margin for well, only slightly, but it will increase profit margins for the remaining more sustainable businesses. Uh, as for lots of competition, this is a hard question without orgs. Why do we have orgs in this game? Let's see.
It's okay. We're not here to like totally like. This is
Yeah,
a
we are.
friendly place. It's okay. We're not here to like put you on the spot like this.
Yeah. Also, the questions were intended. It's like an interview for the people, so you can take your
Well,
time.
yeah. You know what? How about this? Let him think about his answer, and let's play one of your songs.
Okay. This is from Krista. I hope she's still listening the what do you call the radio show. I hope she's still listening. This song is from Krista. This song is called E Money featuring Filiazzo and Caras. Or Caris, I hope I pronounced the name right. Don't Be Shy. I'll play the radio remix. Okay, give me a sec till I try to fix them.
While he presses the buttons. Okay, I think Aerith is pushing all the buttons. So at this point, I guess this is the DK power moment while Aerith pushes buttons. So how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's been having a fun time. I realize that like I'm the co-host and here to gosh. Okay, so let's see. Voo's trolling. Why do you say no? We're all here to have fun. Well, I guess you could always say, have fun or go home, or play a song. Da, 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 da. Oh. No, okay. Spitfire apparently Spitfire is going no. Oh, Voo's trolling says because I don't hear me. I know Aerith pushing buttons. He says he's here, but no, Aerith, we cannot hear the music. Try again. So I've actually gotten a message from Mad Catter. Let's see. Um, his response to Ace Spitfire's second question, I assume he's Ace, is it's quite simple. Fix the exchange rates, and the other stuff will follow. It's the invisible hand theory, basically. There isn't much to it. Sounds good. Okay, Aerith, you're being bad. Okay, Aerith, I'm gonna have to have my own music, and you're not gonna like it. Let's see. What's that song from Star Trek? Let's see. The Undiscovered. No, it's not Undiscovered Country. From that Journey one. The one where they go back in time to find the whales. Yes, that would.
Search for Spock.
No, the Voyage Home. It's the one right
Oh.
after after the Search for Spock. The one with the whales, and Spock goes into the tank to communicate with the whales. And so apparently, like during when he's like on the oh, okay, actually, okay, Mad Catter gave me more things. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, Spock was on the boombox. Was listening to someone play music on a boombox, and he mentioned that like we really liked our colorful metaphors in the '90s. Okay. Okay. So Mike Hatter has a follow-up to that. As people, even intentionally, see exchange rates changing, they will change their market offers to adapt to get to the most out of them. All they have to do as president is influence the exchange rate. So, oh, oh, sorry, I actually said that wrong, and I'm getting like like big old sad faces at me. Internationally, I don't know what I said. Forgive me, the internet people. Please forgive me. Okay. Since Aerith is still pushing the buttons, Thomas Killer, why don't how are you doing with your answer?
Basically, I've come down to looking at the list for the raw materials. I saw one of the biggest producers on the market on there happened to be Jimmy 86, which for any of you who don't know him, he's a Swedish citizen, a very powerful um, Swedish citizen, and as you can see, he is taking advantage of our markets for quick profits. So, one way to basically we have way too much competition in the food market, and basically since a lot of new players are in it, they're just going ahead and trying to one up the person by making the prices lower and lower and lower and lower, and it just keeps going down. So basically, what we'd have to do, the simplest answer would be to get rid of the extra competition by removing and discouraging the food industry and the grain raw materials. Um, there are a couple ways to do this. Some more or less will be more efficient than others, but you can max out tax increases on tax imports for the foreign people like Germany 6. You can openly, through media, discourage continued use in the food industry and encourage people to dissolve companies um, for the gold and use it to invest in another industry or just something else. Maybe their training centers or something.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's
Actually,
just
an
some
audience
of
member
it.
has a question for you. They want to know how we can influence the monetary market.
Um, really, that comes down all to how much is the US dollar worth, and we can affect that through taxes, through monetary injections, printing of US dollars. Basically, in my administration, I'd be manipulating the monetary market and the worth of the US dollar through monetary injections and printing of US dollars. Basically, we would print a certain amount of US dollar, and we wouldn't just all put it on to the monetary market. How we do it is we break it up into smaller amounts, just so that we don't rapidly try to change the market um, by slowly putting it in over a course of several weeks. Of course, it's only a month, so that's 4 weeks, but um, we will be hoping to increase the deflation of the currency down to rough. I want to get it to 60 US dollar per gold. Um, whether or not we will get there, that's kind of a lofty goal, but I'm up for the challenge. I think that we can get there with good coordination and planning. And basically, once we start flooding the markets with US dollar, everyone will get their hands on some of that. And as everyone has more and more of it, the worth of it will go down just because it will become more common, less rare. People won't want it as much, and that will drive prices down for goods. Um, that will alter the worth of the taxes, how much money we can make in gold through our sales.
Can anyone hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Oh,
Yes.
Thank God. Oh my goodness. Sorry, okay, there was some technical difficulties. Apparently, my headset, basically, if I unplug the headset and try to use my earbuds, mic and replay music, there are problems.
okay. You know what? That's fine. We won't have any more music. But Aerith, I'm gonna let you take over for this part. I need to take care of a family
Yeah,
member is like
but
calling me on the phone, so I'll be right back, guys.
yeah, please hold on for a few seconds. We'll be ending the show in another 1 minute's time because it's gone for an hour and I don't want to exceed it for more than an hour usually. Okay, Chris has gone. No! So yeah, Thomas Killer, have you finished with the question? Or is there more questions like?
Um, the last question I basically just finished answering was just about what are the ways to influence
Oh
the
yeah, please finish
economy and
that
the monetary
answer.
market. Basically, I just kind of list out the different ways. That would be through manipulation of taxes, printing U.S. dollar, injecting U.S. dollars into the monetary markets, or through programs like lotteries, giveaways, raffle
Oh, okay.
information, things like that.
Oh, basically
Um,
redistribution in the wealth. Okay, that's
yeah,
interesting.
redistribution. That's how you influence the monetary market, the U.S. economy. Everything kind of revolves around the worth of the U.S. dollar, and you affect that through redistribution of money, either putting in more to lower the cost of the dollar, causing prices to increase, or you um, starve the market of US dollar, cut off circulation, causing prices to drive down and the worth of the dollar to go up.
Okay, so I hope everyone is satisfied with the answer. Yeah, sorry for the small technical difficulties we were having because this is kind of weird. Google is kind of weird and it's messing up certain times. So yeah, I think we'll be ending the show. Thank you guys for watching eRev Party Radio. Sorry, for listening eRev Party Radio and for watching what you call the debate. And yeah, since Matt Keter couldn't send out his platform, we'll try to put it in an article later on, hopefully. And yes, basically Chris will be off right now. He couldn't do the outro, which I wanted him to do before he left. So yeah, thanks for watching eRep Party Radio with your host Arid and DK3D9. And as well, special thanks to Thomas Killa. Thank you so much for coming onto the show and telling what. Okay, sorry, I was listening, reading to Matt Catter's message. Yeah, it is published, Matt Catter, but it's I could have read certain things what is going on and. Oh, seriously? Okay. Um, so yeah, thanks for it's great to have you, it's great to have you, Thomas Killer, on this show, and thank you so much for joining.
No problem. I enjoyed it.
Okay. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and remember, you're always loved. And yes, thanks guys for watching, and have a great weekend, and stay tuned for next week eRev Part Radio episodes. Bye.